Britain once ruled the global economy, the empire where the sun never set, the pound sterling, the world's most trusted currency. Today, families skip meals to pay energy bills. Workers strike across railways, hospitals, and schools. The pound is weaker than it's been in decades, and economists whisper the unthinkable. Britain may already be in a death spiral. Energy costs are crushing families. Housing is a nightmare. Wages are stuck. Debt is rising. And the question people whisper is now out in the open. Is the UK economy permanently broken? This isn't just about inflation charts and boring spreadsheets. This is the story of how one of history's greatest economies fell apart, and whether it has the strength to rise again. Segment 1. To understand Britain's decline, you have to understand its peak. The Industrial Revolution turned Britain into the richest nation on earth. Coal, steel, textiles, shipping. The UK was the Silicon Valley of the 19th century. The pound wasn't just money, it was power. And through empire, trade, and finance, London became the beating heart of the global economy. For over a century, if you wanted to do business, you had to go through Britain. But superpowers don't last forever, and history has a cruel rule. The higher you climb, the harder you fall. Segment 2. Present-day crisis. Let's start with what people feel right now. Energy bills doubled for many households in the past 2 years. Some families literally choose between heating and eating. Food prices are up more than 15% since 2022. Basics like milk, bread, and eggs have become luxuries. Housing, forget it. Average house prices are 9 times the average salary. Renting is a blood sport. Young people call themselves Generation Rent for a reason. Wages? Flat for over a decade. Adjusted for inflation, many workers are poorer today than in 2008. These aren't abstract trends. They're why people are angry, striking, and losing faith in the idea that working hard actually gets you anywhere in Britain. Segment 3. Brexit fallout. Then there's the elephant in the room. Brexit. It was sold as a chance to take back control. But the reality? UK exports to the EU are down. Red tape for businesses has exploded. Investment has drained out of the country. A government report admitted Brexit shrank the UK economy by around 4%. That's not theory. That's billions wiped away. And the cruel irony is this: Britain left the EU for sovereignty, but ended up with less power, less leverage, and less growth. Segment 4. The broken services. Public services are collapsing under the strain. The NHS is on life support. Long waiting lists, staff shortages, and strikes by nurses and junior doctors. Without immigration, it collapses overnight. With immigration, it still feels like it's drowning. Schools face funding crises. Public transport is unreliable. Trains cancel, buses are cut, and strikes spread. These aren't luxuries. They're the systems that make life livable. And when they don't work, people lose trust, not just in services, but in the whole economy. Segment 5. Debt, inflation, and political chaos. Add to that debt and inflation, UK government debt just passed 100% of GDP for the first time in over 60 years. Inflation hit double digits in 2022 and still hovers painfully high. Mortgage rates spiked after Liz Truss's mini-budget disaster in 2022, a single political mistake that sent markets into panic and households into ruin. This is why Britain feels unstable. Not just poor management, but chaos. Leaders fighting headlines instead of fixing problems. Every few months, a new PM, a new promise, a new failure. Segment 6. The human cost. And here's the truth. It's not just about GDP, it's about you. Young people don't believe they'll ever own a home. Parents cut back on meals so kids can eat. Workers go on strike, not for luxuries, but to survive. Students graduate into debt, low wages, and no security. Britain has become a place where survival is the new ambition, where a decent life feels like a luxury. And that's the real crisis. When people lose hope in the future, the economy isn't just weak, it's broken. Segment 7. Can the UK recover? So, can Britain recover? Yes, technically. The UK still has world-class universities, tech hubs, finance, culture, and global influence. It could reinvent itself through green energy, biotech, AI, trade innovation. But here's the problem. Recovery needs leadership. And Britain's leaders are trapped in short-term fights, blaming migrants or making policies for headlines instead of solutions. Without vision, recovery isn't possible. And right now, nobody in power has shown they have one. Britain's problem isn't just inflation, debt, or Brexit. It's the sense that decline is permanent, that this is as good as it gets. The UK economy could recover, but only if it stops denying how deep the crisis really is. Because history's warning is clear. Countries that fail to adapt collapse. And Britain doesn't have much time left to decide if it's going to rise again or fade away for good. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.